For this last session in our TRF Tuesdays program, we're going to kind of review some of the key points, the 5 layers of self-awareness, the 9 steps to self-awareness, and then in our accessible practice session, we'll be doing some little exercises for each of the layers. So the 5 layers are, as you can see on the slide that's up, is physical, body, and environment. This is you. It's your size, your shape, your gender identification, your race, your ethnicity, your anatomy, your physiology, and it's your home, your town, your community, and the planet we all share, because everything is connected. And so as individuals, we are physically connected to all of the environmental pieces that surround us. That's an easy layer to understand because we can sense it, feel it with our 5 senses. Breath and energy can be a little more subtle. Breath, we're comfortable with, I think, because we know we breathe oxygen, and this nourishes your body and your brain, and it sustains your life. Now, the energy, that's the subtle, invisible life force that animates you at all levels and it enables you to think, to create, to move, to work, to love, and energy to navigate all that life brings. And you know that when something really hard happens, you can almost feel like the energy is like sucked out of your body. So on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 might be, oh, where's my bed? 10 might be, where's the party? So being aware of where your energy is during the day and what the patterns are can be important. 3, that's a psycho-emotional, that's your mind. It's your thoughts, your emotions. It's also your core beliefs, what you inherently believe deep in your core, consciously or unconsciously. This is how you think, what you think about, what you believe, and how you experience and express all of that, which is very important and key to healing. And then 4 this is intuitive wisdom. We call it the witness. This is the part of us that gives us the ability to observe all of our layers. It's slightly different from the mind. The mind and the witness interrelate, and when the mind is open to what the witness has to say, it's much easier to view your life with compassion, because we all need that, and without judgment, because we all have a tendency to judge, sometimes a little too harshly, so that we can either, we have 3 choices once the witness is engaged. We can choose to make and take the changes that we need to improve our goals in life. We can choose not to change, but with full awareness of all of the consequences that are going to happen if we don't change. Or sometimes change is not possible. And in that case, we use the witness to help us find acceptance and peace. 5 is bliss. We can also think of it as joy. That's our connection to something larger than ourselves. It can be spiritual, it can be religious, it can be a hobby, it can just be being in nature, whatever allows you to kind of forget the physicalness of yourself and allows you to become one with something else. So these are the 5 layers of self-awareness. And so next we want to review why self-awareness is important. That is because no matter your size, your shape, your color, your ethnicity, your condition or position in life, when you were born, these 5 layers came into the world with you. And when you tune in, they are accessible to you 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And each layer operates moment to moment in our daily lives. They're interconnected. They're not separate. We just separate them to talk about them. The reason they're important is if we move through our lives on autopilot with no connection, no awareness of what's going on those 5 layers, we lose power. That's important. So getting our power back and healing our lives is especially important if we're dealing with trauma. And that's because with no awareness of our body, how it's feeling, how we're breathing, what our energy's like, if we're not tuned into what we believe, our habits or our routines, we will often find ourselves stuck and blocked. And when we succeed in understanding how those layers work and how they're connected, we gain a better understanding of two things: how and why we react the way we do to what life presents, the good, the bad, the beautiful, and the ugly, or how we respond instead of react by using our ability to make conscious choices. Then our responses are healthier, they're more balanced, they're more productive. Are they perfect? No, because we're not perfect, but they are more productive. And this requires attention and effort, and it takes time. But the result is more clarity, contentment, and resilience. And as my teacher said, the juice will be worth the squeeze. So we're going to move on to slide 3. We have a GPS, a global positioning system to help us find the way to self-awareness of our 5 layers and how they operate. So we have these 9 steps. Step 1, become aware of your body and environment. So you can ask yourself, how tuned are you of how your body operates and the messages it sends you? How cluttered or uncluttered is your home? And how does that make you feel? Step 2, become aware of your breathing and your energy. Breathing is important. It's one of the most important exercises, tools, and goals that we can have in yoga. Knowing how you breathe. When you breathe, is your breath only in your chest? What parts of your body move when you breathe? And can you track your energy levels as you move through the day? You want to take full, deep breaths, and you also want to know how tapped in you are to your energy. Step 3, you identify your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. So this uses the witness because you want to know, can you watch the flow of thoughts and feelings and images that move through your mind without getting caught up in them? Step 4, once you're able to identify your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, the what, you move on to the how by turning the mind back on itself. Because after you name and label, you want to trace back to the reasons why do you think and feel as you do. What events in your life may have led you to this current mental, emotional state with these thoughts and these beliefs? So that is step 5. Step 6, once you've done that, you take skillful action. That's where you make the change, consciously keep things the same way they are, or find peace of mind if no change is possible. Then, what is your bliss? You want to find your bliss. You ask yourself, what brings you the most joy? What takes your breath away? Is it being in nature or being around certain people? What allows you to feel 110% yourself? When you find it, you connect to it. You figure out the reasons why and how they connect with your values, because very often what brings us bliss or joy is very much connected to what our values are. And then step 9 is you want to bring that bliss into your everyday life. And then you want to practice it. And then you want to find and share your joy and your bliss with others. So before we go into our interactive practice, I just want to share slide 4. And that is, if you're looking for more information, my blog has tons of articles on all of this. And signing up for my newsletter gets you 2 tracks of my relaxation MP3. And then, of course, I have my books. And now I'm going to stop share. And we're going to go into our interactive practice. And as I've said before, it's important if for some reason your body does not move into any of the practices or exercises we do, or if you're not comfortable, simply visualize everything in your mind. You don't have to move your body. It's great if you can, but if you can't, you visualize in your mind, because that can often be just as important and successful. So first, we start by tuning into the body, a real short little body scan. So bringing yourself to a comfortable position, you're going to relax your hands on your lap or by your sides. You can either close your eyes, or if you want to keep them open, if you need to keep them open, just gaze at the floor. And we're going to begin by asking you to connect to your feet. Feel your feet connected to whatever surface they're connected to, maybe the floor, maybe you're on your bed and it's your mattress. Just notice where your feet are and what they're connected to. Notice your legs, right leg and left leg. Notice both legs together and ask yourself, what does this part of my body feel like right now, this minute? And then notice the belly and the low back. Check out your rib cage, your mid back, and all the organs and body systems that are in between front and back. You're using your witness to check all this out. Notice your shoulders, your neck, your head. Pay particular attention to your jaws. If they're clenched, just loosen it. Notice the forehead. If it's frowning and wrinkled, soften it. And then notice your arms, your hands, your fingers. Good. Just a quick scan through the whole entire physical body. And then watch your breath flow in and out of your body. We just do a quick scan on the breath, noticing the flow in and out, just watching it, not judging. Notice your inhalation, your exhalation. And then just checking out the mind space. What thoughts are flowing through? What images are present? Can you observe without getting entangled in them? Just noticing. Good. And then moving into a physical practice, we'll just do a couple of quick physical things. Hopefully you can remember or watch the video later because it'll stretch the whole body. So you're going to raise your arms over your head, stretch your legs straight out, spread your fingers, spread your toes, reach, 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 reach. Keep breathing. Do not hold your breath. Next time you exhale, release down. We're just going to do that 2 more quick times. Inhale, stretch the arms and the legs. This is called staff pose. It's good for your whole body. Keep breathing. Exhale and lower. Good. And it's also good for circulation. Inhale, last time, arms up, legs stretch straight out. And then exhale down. Good. Now placing one hand on your hip, doesn't matter which one, do quick side bend. Just lean over to one side, breathing, don't hold your breath. And then we're going to go to the other side, just like that. 2 more times. To your other side, stretch. And then to the other. So staff pose followed by a stretch. I love to do things 3 times. Body, breath, and mind. Good. And the last time to the other side. Great. And then a twist. So you can place your hands hand to elbow, or you can do a bear grip position, or you can place your hands on your shoulders, fingers in front, thumbs in back. Either way, we'll do this 3 times. Take a breath in, twist to your left. Let your breath out and go right. 2 more. Inhale, twisting to the left. Exhale to the right. 1 more. Inhale to the left. Exhale to the right. Good. And then coming to center, release the arms down and just shake and wiggle your hands. This is called shaking horse, and it's a good way to get your joints moving and all the energy through. So we've moved our physical body. Now for our breath and energy, we've noticed the breath. We're going to do a very simple breath practice. It's called seagull breathing. You're going to interlace your fingers, place your hands underneath your chin. Inhale, spread your wings, lift your chin all the way up and back. Exhale, bring the elbows together, chin forward. 2 more. Inhale, seagull breath. Exhale in. 1 more seagull breath. Inhale up. Exhale in. Good. And then the last thing you're going to do for your energy is balance it. So you're going to bring your fingertips together, thumbs together, space between your hands, and just relax your arms down. Relax your shoulders and just take a couple of nice breaths in and out. In yoga, this is called Hakini Mudra. It's a hand gesture. When I teach it to kids, I call it mountain pose, mountain gesture, mountain mudra. And it is said to balance your energy and balance all your body systems. So it's a lovely hand position, showing it one more time, just to be clear. It's a lovely hand position to use whenever you're feeling spacey and you need to just sort of get everything together. Good. One other energy technique I'm going to show you is Adi Mudra, which I call turtle in the shell. Thumbs across the palms, fold the fingers over, relax knuckle side down in your lap. This really helps. And I use a visualization with this. I try to visualize myself as a potted plant sitting in nice, nurturing earth, being grounded, supported, and nurturing. And it's something that you can do. Nobody knows you're doing yoga. So when you're in a stressful position, hands in Adi Mudra, it helps to calm you down. Great. So you can either keep your hands in Adi Mudra or relax the hands, whatever you'd like to do. And we're just going to do a quick little trip through the mind. So you're going to become aware of your thoughts. This is where we want to identify and sort of explore the thoughts. So relaxing the shoulders, just begin watching your thoughts as they flow through your mind space. Just notice if your mind and your thoughts or images are fixed on one thing. Do they flow? Do they dead end? Try to see each one as a puffy cloud, just kind of floating through the mind sky, simply rising, passing by, waiting for the next one by one. This way, with a little detachment from what's happening in the mind, allows you to use your witness to sort of notice, oh, I'm thinking this. Oh, that's an interesting thought. Is it helpful? Is it unhelpful? Are my thoughts focused on the past, the future, the present? Am I struggling with an issue? Just notice and label. No judgment, full compassion. Good. And then to move into bliss and joy, just going to take another minute or two. And if you've been here for the past week or a couple of weeks, well, you notice I talked about a resolve, or it can be called an affirmation or a mantra. And if you have one, it would be a short phrase in the present tense. If you have one, use it for this exercise. If not, here are three, and you can choose one or the other. You can choose I am calm and resilient, or I am healthy and whole, or I am peaceful and relaxed, whichever one you'd like to use. You're just going to relax. And again, eyes can be open or closed. We're going to do a little visualization that takes you to your happy place, your sacred space, whatever you want to call it. So here, what you're going to do is visualize this place in your mind. It can be a place or a time where you feel 110% yourself. Mountain, garden, beach, room in your home, a time in your life. You just want to sit, sense, and draw in the entire environment and space and place. Notice it with all of your five senses. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? Taste, touch. Just notice. Simply allow yourself to be. And while you are here, now you are simply going to repeat that resolve to yourself 3 times with awareness, with feeling, and with emphasis. And it's recommended that once you decide what your resolve is, that you use it in your daily life until it comes true. And then you can pick another one. Sometimes you use the same one for your whole life. Very healing. We're involved in a healing process, not necessarily curing. Very different. Good. And then to conclude, just become aware of your breath. Move your fingers and toes. Take a nice deep breath in, raise your arms overhead, go back into that staff pose, a full body movement. And then bring your palms together. And as you lower your arms and your feet, take another nice deep breath in, lifting your heart. And as you exhale, just give yourself a nice namaste, or the light in me sees the light in you, or a peaceful, selfish wish for something that you need for yourself for healing. Good. Okay. Thank you so much for your attention. And I know we have a few minutes if there are any questions or comments that you would like to make.
Thank you for these past weeks. It's been such a great experience. I do have one question though.
Mhm.
I love your relaxed approach, not forcing the body to do anything. It doesn't seem like a question. Hold on.
Well, I can respond to that though, because
Go ahead. Yes, please do.
a lot of times you'll go into a yoga class or something and you're told, you must do this, your body must be aligned this way, your body can do more, push beyond it. I was trained in a school of yoga therapy, and the first thing you do is honor where you are. You can't push past your boundaries until you know what your boundaries are. And when you discover what your boundary is, physical, energetic, mental, once you know what it is, you have to be sure that you're comfortable pushing past it. You know, sometimes the body, if you're holding a posture for, more than a breath or two, you may find that the body will relax and allow you to move into the pose even further. That's one of the reasons I love yin yoga, YIN. Look that up; it's fabulous, and it's all about safety. If you can't feel safe, and especially if you've experienced trauma, safety and feeling safe is a huge issue. So you have to be physically and feel physically safe before you move a boundary. You got to know what they are. And in some cases, you need to set them. So that would be my response. Honor where you are and don't push past it until your body, your breath, and your mind all link up and say, okay, I'm ready.
So here's what that question was. Somebody saying, what would you suggest to someone who is not motivated to move in their daily practices, or they need to move but mentally feeling unmotivated to do so?
Do it in your mind. There have been actual studies done with Olympic athletes where they've had a group of athletes actually do the physical training, and another group of athletes, I think it was in racing, and another group of athletes just sat and visualized the race in their mind. And you know what? The folks who visualized it did as well or better than the folks who actually did the physical training. So just because a body part doesn't move or you don't feel motivated to move, do it in your mind, because the energy is there. And one example, I may have used this before, in one class I had a woman who had a hand amputated, and she was telling me, well, I can't do these mudras because I don't have a hand. And I said to her, your energy is there. It's your energy body is there. So you visualize it in your mind, because the energy is real. And if you have any interest in theoretical physics, they will tell you, bottom line is we are all energy. So the mind is energy. So you can use the energy, because the physical body is simply the final vibrational manifestation of that energy. Sorry to get wonky, but I just love that stuff.
Those are all the comments I see right now. I'll give everybody another minute or so if they want to type in here. Someone saying, thank you so much for that. So true about the energy, and sometimes missing a limb for the brain is still there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and even when your body parts are missing, and I've heard this from people, and I've experienced it myself, is that if you have a medical procedure or an operation and some part of your body is missing, you can still feel it. And there's a yoga teacher, his name is escaping me right now, but he was in an automobile accident when he was 11, paralyzed from the waist down, told he'd never walk again. True, he never walked again, but he could feel the energy in his legs. And he is now a very well-known yoga teacher who teaches from a wheelchair. So there you go.
I do have one more question here that came in. Do you have to explore the 5 layers of awareness in order for it to be effective? Thanks for clear and compassionate work.
Oh, thank you. It's helpful to explore them it's easy to start with the physical body because that's up to our five senses. And most people start with the physical body. That's why they end up in an exercise class or a yoga class. And then as you become comfortable, then you can move on to the energetic. Because I have to be honest, I probably spent years just dealing with the physical body in a yoga class. Then I kind of said, oh, what is this breath and energy stuff? And then it was like, oh, what's going on with the mind? Because I found some absolute changes from watching that. And then understanding what bliss and joy was and using the witness. So it's not instant, it takes time. And I know after I received the model from my teacher, I didn't even understand it in my body for like 9 months, which is kind of interesting because that's how long it takes to birth a child. But then after that, I said, well, let me explore this. So a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. You're not going to get it all just from these 6 weeks, but you start where you are. And then gradually over time, working with the body can morph into working with the energy, can morph into understanding the mind. And you realize it's your witness that's helping you do that.
Thank you so much, Beth. It was a real joy.
Thank you. And thank you all. Bye.